my hood, on my block, yeah. On my, yeah. Play with me, I'll let it, yeah. Halo on me, Saint Laurent, yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The biggest challenge for these teams here may be dealing. The field is slick, and it's not going to get any better as the game goes on. It'll be messy out there. It's the Raiders going up against the Bills.
Larry, we're just about 4 miles off the shores of Lake Erie at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Between the Oakland Raiders and the Buffalo Bills. Carry for Thomas Rawls. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and... They run with a power back. Rawls. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Jones on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. Here's Peterman. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, It used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Peterman to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Now a handoff looking right. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Peterman. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and... Second down, 9 yards to go. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. His throw incomplete. Amari Cooper the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Now here's the first carry for DeMarco Murray. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. Get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete. It's Rawls. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Out of the pistol, it's Rawls. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A first update now from Cincinnati, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Play clock winding down. Now Roethlisberger. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Randy Gregory in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And here's a very low-line drive. Almost whiffed on it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Second down and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they've got it here with a first down. And a give this time to the tailback. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Peterman on second down. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
After the interception, here's Peterman. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showed some tough running, but couldn't free much space. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, Peterman. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now a toss. This is Rawls. They find some open field here. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Counter play, Rawls. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers, known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. And that is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Peterman going up top. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to the ground on 1st. Again, it's Rawls. And he's got room. There goes Thomas Rawls. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Thomas Thomas rolls. His second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll throw on first down with Peterman. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On second down, here's Peterman. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long, it's Peterman. And it's complete. Hooper. The 40, 30, 20, 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Austin Hooper, 85 yards. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start on the ground with Rawls. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. They go again with Rawls. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And now a first down following that long gain. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go, and that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders have taken the lead. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it, because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Peterman. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. Peterman. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. The Bills on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. The gun, Peterman. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And a great spot to start this drive from here.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and 10, it's Peterman. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. It's been this way most... the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Flushed it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Mario Edwards in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bills on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
The penalty, it's Rawls. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. The busy afternoon continues for Rawls. And some room to maneuver. Nifty footwork at the 45. There goes Thomas Rawls. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big run that time by Rawls. 73 yards. First and goal, defense with their backs against the wall. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Thomas Rawls, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. First down, this is Rawls. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back now in Buffalo. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On is the punter King to send it away. Here's Jones. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Looking to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The offense on third down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone. Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue, landing. Leopard, leopard.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going for the deep ball. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. Here's Roethlisberger. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. The 20, 10, that all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Tre'Davious White on the return. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now out come the Bills. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Bills on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Raiders have got him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Bills on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. A win would be their first of the young season. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack that offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to roam. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they caught him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all.
And he coughed it up. And the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Handoff right to Rawls. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a give. Right side, it's Rawls. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Raiders on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll hand to Rawls. And a loose It's football. Rawls loses it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Oakland, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check